History has a funny way of repeating itself. On Earth date October the 16th, 2210, the Federation found itself in yet another war, less than 10 years since the last one. These general shifts in the Alpha and Beta Quadrant politics have led to a more militarized Federation, which is now focused on exploration as well as the defense of its borders and civilizations friendly to it. What prompted the war was, effectively, the Romulan Star Empire mimicking the Cardassians, declaring an offensive and brutal war against 3 separate civilizations and vassalizing them. The 3 civilizations then joined together, asked the Federation of Planets for help in repelling the Romulans back and driving them off of their worlds. And the Federation of Planets, realizing that 3 whole civilizations were about to be wiped out by the Romulans and enslaved, had no choice but to respond with support. Diplomatic, economic, and ultimately military support. The Ferengi, Xindi Council, and the Xindi actually, as cinematic as that was, I need to check. So the Xindi Council and the Xinti Patriarchy, that's what I was looking for. The Xinti Patriarchy have joined together with us, and they have decided to declare war on the Romulan Empire and earn their, well, not earn their freedom, but fight back for their freedom. This comes as a surprise to the Federation of Planets, which is currently in the midst of rebuilding its navies and retiring its old ships and pressing new ones into service, or rather building new ones and putting them into service. We do have, however, one complete navy that is fully combat capable. That is the First Navy. The First Navy was the first, I guess somewhat understandably, right, to receive the new vessels. It is still running the old Yorktown-class heavy cruisers, however. Those have not yet been fully retired, though we are no longer constructing or maintaining them. Other than the 2 Yorktowns, it has 2 Walker-class ships, 1 Crossfield-class, and 2 Constitution-class vessels. As you can see, these are mighty ships indeed. However, this is not the only thing that has happened in the last 10 years since the war with the Cardassians. The Tholians have also expressed the desire to receive support from the United Federation of Planets in becoming free of the Cardassian Union, though Tholians generally and the Federation haven't had the best relationship thus far, being at war once and all, but the Federation is keeping an open mind to the prospect, as Cardassia is, or rather Cardassians, the Cardassian Union was beaten back, but by no means crushed or defeated, though they did lose their 2 most powerful vassals in that defeat. The Trill administration is well on its way to becoming an official part of the United Federation of Planets, and other than that, there have been technological advances. There is a new, in Wolf 359, a new type of a space station being built, right here, and it's going to take a long while to get built, but apparently it does have something to do with it being a new hub for diplomacy, I guess, within spitting distance of Earth, but Earth is a little bit crowded, so it needed to be another system. I just couldn't build it here anywhere, it's all full. But it should function something like Starbase 1, I think, though I don't know until we build it. It's been rather vague. Economically, the United Federation of Planets and the Federation member worlds as well have just boomed, basically. Yeah, the Federation has now way more alloys, plenty of food, minerals, energy, everything. Economically, it is a powerhouse. Its navies are lacking a little bit, not much, but a tiny bit. However, the shipyards are pumping out vessels as fast as they humanly can. The shipyards on Earth are the only ones that aren't building anything, which I will change in a minute, but considering that we find ourselves at war once again, it's probably best if I don't disband any new vessels yet. Though, I mean, who knows? I need to take a look at the fleet manager for that. So, the second fleet. Yeah, I mean, I could give them like a Saladin-class frigate, but I mean, look at that. That's puny and no, that's not what I want. I want big ships. That's what I want for the Federation. Just huge ships all over the place, really. And you may have noticed a huge change, which actually I neglected to mention up until now. I should have done that earlier, probably. You may have noticed a huge change in the UI, and that is that the outliner over here is now tiny. This is the tiny outliner mod, which hasn't worked up until now with the Star Trek UI and the Star Trek on this mod in general. It now does. I'm not sure when they've made it work, but when I started recording this series, it didn't work. Now it works, which is just phenomenal. I love that. Absolutely love that, and I'm also just noticing that the neutral zone is no longer very neutral. That makes sense because, you know, we're now at war, but yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and unpause, and I will talk you through a few more things that we've done recently. So the third fleet is also fairly combat capable. It has nothing but 8 Columbia-class vessels, which I do want to check over here as well. So the third fleet, can I add something to them? No, not really. They have 2 Nimitz and 1 Cardenas class ship on their way to reinforce them. The second fleet over here is just 3 Poseidons. We're going to use it in a defensive role over here along with the starbase. We do have, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 starbases over here. And there is the Romulan 7th Fleet here as well with a lot of vessels, but my hope is that these space stations will be able to at least delay the Romulan invasion. And I will put down some, I guess, armor plating. Or, I don't know, yeah, I guess I'll put down some armor plating on this one and this one, and yeah, this one's being upgraded. I was kind of under the understanding that these energy weapon arrays will provide some form of defense. I don't think they do. I think the only form of defense you can get is this stuff, defense pod. Which is fine, I'll build those as well, because these exclaves are gonna be a bit of a problem for us to defend, so I'm going to try and put down some of these stations like that, or defense satellites like that, and hope that that'll be enough. But I definitely want to sort of cut through all of this and link up with the exclaves that we have, and that's kind of going to be the war plan. Now, the problem here being is that the Romulan Navy is very near our borders to begin with, whereas most of our ships are still under construction. Plus, it'll take a while for the Ferengi and the Zindi vessels to come in and help. But even if they do, like the Ferengi, yeah, look at that. The two combined fleets can't take out one of the Romulan fleets. It's gonna be a bit of a problem. The Zindi, I don't know if they even have a combat-capable fleet. I don't really think they do. The Zinti Patriarchy also, so yeah, it's not ideal. I'm waiting mainly for the Zenkethi over here, I guess, and the Kaith ships. The Kaitian Union can indeed influence this war quite a bit. They have some, well, not the greatest ships, but they are potent, and they'll get the job done. I also want to move in our security forces, let's say down there and up there. They've just returned from they were on the Cardassian border, and now we're going to move them this way. There is also a new faction that has formed within the Federation. Like I said, there have been some changes. And the Vanguard of the Chosen, this is what it's called. So, formed Federation of Planets, minus 5%. Strong alone, joining a coalition will displease them. Neighborhood rivals we have. Conquest, well, we can't do that. Military education, we can't do that. And aggressive diplomacy. Failing to allow for offensive warfare will also displease them. Yeah, we can't really please them. I mean, we can, I guess, embrace this faction or promote it as something. But it needs more support, so yeah, we're not going to do that, obviously, but yeah, it's, you know, let's just say it's not ideal, right? We have 100% approval with these guys. That is very happy about that. Okay. The Enterprise has a mission of its own down in the Kaitian Union. There is a diplomatic conference over there that's apparently very important, and they've asked for Charles Trip Tucker III again. Apparently the Federation's best diplomat in his old age, well, old age now, but he got off fairly early on, honestly, with the whole diplomacy thing. I congratulate him, what can I say? The USS Modin is also doing things. The second fleet is going to be commanded by Jonathan Archer. I need to figure out my commanders. Malcolm Reed, do I want you... I think I kind of do. I think I kind of want your fleet over here to start attacking immediately and maybe draw away some of these ships this way. The fourth fleet under Travis Mayweather, I want that to have no admiral, because that fleet is just going to wait there, I think. If I'm right. Yeah, that's the fourth fleet is still waiting for ships. And it's going to wait for ships for a while, so let's send them... No, let's just keep them there, I think. And the fifth fleet under Shran. First, third, second, that's all done. Kamari is just, you know, a flying museum. I guess the USS Modin is going to be commanded by Travis. Yep, I think that makes sense. And we're going to start... Well, it's not a strong enough ship to go raiding on its own, but we'll see. Anyways, let's get this war started. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, what can we do about it? I am also integrating... Okay, lovely. There was a flu outbreak, it was really mild and not even worth mentioning. I am integrating the Rigelian Consortium. It's gonna take some influence, but that's about it, and I figured why not, that there wasn't really a negative... There wasn't any real reason not to do it. Plus, it's good practice for integrating the later, bigger vassals, I suppose. Okay. Oh, look at that. We have a... Oh, what is this? A Constitution class. Oh, that's what they look like on the thing. Okay. Look at that. It's 2,400 power in one ship. For Stellaris terms, like the game as a whole, it's not that much. But for Star Trek and for the ships we've been playing with thus far, which had, you know, 200 or 300 power, this is big. This is serious stuff. Okay, so the second fleet is now kind of a powerhouse with that ship. Yeah, with that ship alone. Obviously, the helping, the Poseidons do help a little bit as support vessels. Those are definitely important. But what the hell are you doing? No, you misunderstood. You misunderstand. No. Stop. You're not going to fly through Romulan space just to go and build something. That's not how any of this is going to work. Sorry. But I figure any minute now we're going to have our first engagement. And I also figure that this fourth fleet that isn't doing anything might want to start moving over here towards Jonathan Archer, because I get the feeling...
Technology discovered.
Okay, I don't like how this is red. Romulan Consortium has been successfully integrated into our empire. Lovely. Technology Xenozoo. Yeah, I just wanted to get it out of the way. It was there forever, and I thought, you know, maybe it'll lead to something better. And it does. I'm not sure if it, you know, if that specifically led to this, but you know, still it's useful. Embassy Center, factions from Unity. I thought I already researched this once. Anyways, Unity not really the most important of things right now. I have more ice water than I know what to do with. I'm capped out on trained officers. Food from farmers per agricultural district, 5%. That's not bad. And this Brizene nitrate I'm also making plenty of. I don't think this is the most useful thing. I don't think this is the most useful thing either. Well, what does it actually do? Oh, is that population growth speed? Yes, it is. Okay, let's grab that. Yeah, let's grab that. Even though Cordazine or Cordrazine isn't the most common resource available to us, still useful. Okay, so now the question is, where are the Romulan fleets going to go? They have 3 fleets right here, and it looks like they're gathering for something. Well, for something. For an offensive, obviously, but yeah, and then they have a 4th one there as well. Okay, let's get the 5th fleet to help out the 3rd.
Construction complete.
And faction founded, the Institute for Science.
Under attack.
Effectively. Okay, stop. Institute for Science, why are you displeased? You're not. Best and brightest. Healthcare, but everything else you're very happy with. Okay, good. Appreciate that. These guys, not so much, but this is the most popular faction, and it's at 100% approval, so can't really complain. But we are getting some factions, and I don't really like factions, but nothing too important, I guess. Right. Well, here's the first battle of the war. Actually, is this the first, or is this going to be... No, this hasn't started yet. Yeah, it's going to take a while because it's a black hole. It's going to take a while to join combat. Over there, so these will be the first shots of the war, and let it be known, Malcolm Reed fired the first shot once again. Yeah, I appreciate the old admiral and, you know, his proactive approach to warfare, let's say. Though, I will say, this time round, I will not... Enthusiasm increases our trained officers' production by 5%. I don't need any more trained officers, I really don't. I'm making plenty. What I do want from this Frontiers thing, though, is this Empire size reduced. So I'm going to go with above and beyond just to get this as soon as possible, because I think this is much more important than anything else I can grab right now. Yeah, alright. Here we go. Romulans are coming. Ooh, there's 2 fleets. The 8th and the 5th fleet are coming. Okay, tell you what, you get out of there. And Archer. Well, I mean, this station is being upgraded, but I don't think it'll see the light of day before you're engaged in combat, unfortunately. Oh, and there's going to be a fleet coming in over here as well. Ugh, okay. Well, we got our shields mostly back up. It is a fairly weak fleet, though, and I would rather fight them when they're sort of disjointed like this.
Colony founded.
Okay. There have been some... I forgot to mention this as well, because it's a war, and plus I have a few updates to talk about, so I hope you'll forgive me. Haven't got around to it yet, let's just say. There have been some technological advances in terms of shields and weaponry. Or actually, weaponry not yet, I think. This is the first... Yeah, this is the one. I'm going to go with beam specialization without even looking, because Federation, right? Beam weapons, that's what we do. And then there's been stuff like this, you know, hull breaches, pulse phaser banks, this and that. Just different types of phasers, all very useful, don't get me wrong. I like it all, but the problem is I haven't really had the chance to implement it. Mainly because our ships are still being constructed, and also because, well, a lot of the time it's just applied on automatically over here. It's just slightly better weaponry, basically. But we did get regenerative shields. Now, I had the choice between multi-phasic shields, I think, or regenerative shields, and I'm not gonna lie, I spent about 15 to 20 minutes researching this. It turns out both are not, or rather neither, aren't used by the Federation. At least as far as I know, especially not in 2210. I think both were seen, or one of them was seen in Voyager, the other one was in the Next Generation or something like that. And they're highly advanced shield types. And the Federation doesn't use either at this point. I think after the war with the Dominion, they might plop some on somewhere, and then that advance in technology might happen, but I don't think up until that point they've changed their shields to either of those types. So I think they were using just basic shields, I think. But, see, this is technology level 2, this is level 4. Maybe there's a shield of level 3 somewhere in between, but it's besides the point. This has a lot more regen. The other type of shield had more shield hit points to begin with. So honestly, it's not even that big of a difference. See, 3.4 to 4,000 and 7 to 11. Not a huge difference. The difference in cost is also, well, relatively negligent. So yeah, I will upgrade these on the Federation and on the Crossfield, for example. Or on the Federation, on the Constitution flagship over here as well, on the Nimitz, if I can. Yeah, I can't because it's being built, right? Walker, yeah, Walker can, I can do that. Over here I can't because of the power issues, but I can fix that with a reactor and inertial dampeners. And also I can upgrade the weaponry, which this really should have done on its own, but it didn't, so yeah. Warp engines, yes, I also got the next stage of warp engines, maximum sustainable warp factor of 7.8. Quite a bit, so we will upgrade these as well. And usually I would do this, and also we also have these Avidine impulse thrusters. I mean, all of this is just a huge drain on our resources, but as you can see, I can't really apply most of this because it's being built, right? So, yeah. I do like how I'm still using Makos, by the way. It's something that I don't think the Federation should ever have gotten rid of. Just saying. I will use quantum impulse engines for the flagship because I do need it to move quickly from spot to spot. So we'll save it like this. But for the Constitution, oh, it doesn't have that option at all. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit more understandable, I suppose. Multi-year mission crew. Yeah, it's great, but there's just the interspecies crew is just heads above everything else. Fortunately or unfortunately. Excess energy cavitation. That's interesting. No, keep it to this. Okay, so those are our two main types of ship that we've upgraded. This one I think I can't, right? Yeah. So I guess we've upgraded those main two types of vessels that we have, but still, we're not going to see any use from any of this for a long while. Though we will see use right here. There is yet another Constitution-class ship going in to aid the Second Fleet, so let's take a look at this. Where's my Constitution? So there's the 3 Poseidons. And then there's Romulan warbirds. I mean, no, not really warbirds. They're frigates, I guess, technically, right? Pretty small vessels. Nothing all that serious yet. Yeah, interceptors and stuff like that. They are lacking in the fleet power, let's say. And where is it? Ah, look at this. Here's the Constitution. Look at it. Firing its phasers and supposedly taking fire as well, but they haven't made a dent in it. Look at that. I mean, fair enough, the Poseidons have been taking most of the fire here. Understandably so, they want to focus the weaker ships, but I mean, look at it. Oh, that is glorious, and not only is it glorious, we're about to receive a second Constitution. Somewhere in here. Ah, here it is, yes. Here's the second one. Going in. Oh, yeah. It's joined the fight. The other fleet, I think, just ran off. Well, there is the 7th fleet coming in now, so make repairs as fast as you can, because, you know, there's going to be more combat ahead. We are fighting over here as well, but, ooh, this is nasty. Yeah, I really thought this ship would be better. It's supposed to be futuristic and stuff. And it doesn't even look that bad with weaponry and all, but it just doesn't have a lot of armor and health. And it's kind of getting its ass handed to it by the space station, which is... ugh. I know. We also decided to have elections. Now. Yeah, I don't know either. To be honest with you, I don't know either. Also, this is interesting. It says national government, Henry Legal, level 6 available. Profession ruler. But if I go over to leaders and rulers and governors or whatever it is, he's not here. He's not in science, he's not in the Admirals. I guess Henry Legal was the first one, and that's why I can't get him as a governor, but I thought he was supposed to be like leader of anything, and then I guess career politician, right? That's all the other guys have some type of. I went to orbit right there. I have some type of what's this? Oh, there's a crossfield class coming in. Look at it. Man, it might look like someone stepped on it, but it looks pretty nonetheless. Like, look at that. Yeah, that is very neat looking. I love that. Alright. Welcome aboard. We have a formidable fighting force once again. Oh god. Following a long period of growing support for the format pop_faction.fer.xenoist, the Ferengi Alliance has become more xenophilic? Yeah, they're xenophilic now. Alright, great. Welcome to the Federation. Soon. No! We've lost Travis! I could have sworn he was gonna beat this, but we've lost Travis. And the Modin. No! That is genuinely tragic. That is genuinely tragic. Wow. Okay, well, I want to disband this fleet and this fleet because they're really not that good. I guess I'll merge these together. For some reason, they didn't come up on the. Oh, because they're not mine. Right, that makes sense. I thought these were my ships. But no. Beta Rigel, the planet I've just, or the thing that I've just integrated. Okay, enhanced passive observation. The natives are studied unknowingly from up close using duck blinds and hollow camouflage technology to get even closer and learn even more about the native species. Okay, well, as long as we don't interfere with them, observe the Prime Directive and all that, we can just observe. Fine. I really feel bad about losing Travis, though. He was a great character. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Well, I'm gonna need another Admiral. I'm sorry to say. Let's get you. Asha Okonkwo. Okonkwo? Very anglicised pronunciation, but we'll go with it. Okay, so you have an Admiral. The 4th Fleet doesn't have an Admiral, right? Yes, the 4th Fleet doesn't have an Admiral. Let's assign one. There you go. Man, I feel bad about losing Travis. That was... I didn't really pay attention. I was more focused on Archer and, well, I guess that's kind of ironic as well, I suppose, given how the TV show goes and all that. I was sort of more focused on Archer and how he's doing and all of that, and yeah. Okay, how big is this planet? This is a size 7 planet. We're not gonna colonize that. This, though, polar, this is perfect for the Andorians. Or not. Might be more perfect for the Kzinti and the Caitians, I guess. But I have no doubt the Andorians will come along and yes, population growth speed -10. Population growth speed -10. It equals out, honestly. Because this is feline -10. I mean, for the Caitians it's -20, because -10 here and -10 here. That's bad. But here it's Empire size from props +10. Polar habitability 100, but... Okay, I want more Andorians on in the Federation, and it's not going to make a big difference, honestly. Okay, what about this one? This one's 12. Yeah, this one can be colonized by the Kzinti, or the Zinti, or whatever. Not sure if the K is completely silent or not. Rigel is a polar world as well, but that's fine. Just the Rigelians here. Okay, I don't need the local garrison. You can get rid of that. We're very much a non-military kind of force, I suppose you could say. Not really force, but you get what I mean. We're not really militaristic and not really into ground forces and all that stuff. Yeah, I was so much more curious because here, you know, we have some new types of ships seeing combat for the first time. And I wanted to really, you know, get into this action and see how it's going to go and stuff. But yeah, as it turns out, it's a price to pay for this as well, I suppose. Okay, I do need another sector, which I completely forgot. And I think this is where I'm going to make it. Yeah? Oh no, apparently I'm going to need 2 sectors, okay. And then Rigel gets to become its own sector, because there's going to be 3 planets there. And I guess the rest is fine. Okay. There's unemployment in Rigel as well. Yeah, that'll take care of itself when they move down a strata. Okay, so it's going to take ages for this fleet to jump across to the next place, but that's fine. By the way, if I haven't explained this, maybe I should. I don't know if I should, but I mean, I'll explain it just in case you're not quite familiar with how my economy works right now. As you can see, for example, there's the size 12 and the size 18 planets, and ideally they're going to be populated by Caitians or Andorians. Why is that not the best? Because of their low growth speed. The population growth speed is fairly low. So if you take, for example, a look at Earth, it has 46 pops. A large part of this is due to immigration. As soon as someone becomes a member of the Federation, they send 1 or 2 pops to Earth, and it's lovely. This means that Earth is a garden world, a paradise, you know, well, not, I mean, on paper it is. In reality, sure, the habitability is great, the living conditions are phenomenal, look at how many amenities we have, housing is readily available for everyone, all of your needs are taken care of, except for medicine, apparently, which we need to import, but everything else we're producing on Earth, and we're fully self-sufficient. Lovely. Right, this is great, this is perfect, this is awesome, thank you, Federation, okay? We're good, right, we're good. There's also plenty of jobs available if you want to move on in. It's great. 46 pops. Let's go over to Luna. Okay, not as hospitable, 12 pops, fine, even that's good. Serendipity is 13. Now, I colonized Serendipity, Greenland, and San Lucas right around the beginning of the game, and they now have 14 pops each. Or actually, I think it's 14, 12, and 13. Yeah, not even 14 each. That is with a buff of 25% from the Frontier Hospital to population growth. And with immigration. It takes a ridiculously long time to grow pops. I think way slower, like at least twice as slow, maybe even more, in Star Trek than it does in regular Stellaris, which follows the lore and everything. That's fine. I'm really happy with it. It slows down the game, changes the economy a little bit. I'm not complaining. I'm really happy about it. But what I am saying is that it changes your tactics as well. That means that population growth speed is extremely important. There's also another thing. I am very limited as to how I can expand, and population growth is pretty much the only way I can do it, along with integrating vassals. There's nothing else for me to colonize, and there's nothing for me to conquer. I can't conquer anything, I can only integrate vassals. And I will integrate, like, the Zenkethi, the Ferengi, the Zindi Council, because I need to. There's no other way for it to expand, and it'd be boring if I just let them exist as is, right? But here's the thing. There's a big but here. Where Juggernaut? Okay, just lame joke, I'm sorry. Growth speed I need to boost even further, and in fact I have boosted growth speed even further a few times with stuff like orbital hospitals, which is a growth speed increase of another 10%. This, I'm going to build one here, I've completely forgotten about it. This is great, this is all very helpful, but the problem is, it's not enough. I mean, with the ideal conditions in most places, I still haven't made it past 10 to 13 pops. Right? And only around this number do the planets start actually being efficient and producing something, right? That's the big issue here. The productivity is kind of the main issue. Because, as you can see, if we go over to a new planet like... this is a good example. This one here, a fledgling colony. It's not making much. I mean, it's making 7 energy, and it's losing 1 supply. That's 7 energy. Like, eesh. And it'll take, especially with the Medusans, who have they're non-corporeal, so it's 33% decrease in population growth speed. As you can see, it'll take another 16 months to grow another pop. And then probably a couple of years again. Actually, probably even more than that. Maybe like 4 or 5 years to grow another one. And then this planet is going to produce a little bit of energy. Hooray. It's going to take years to grow these economies into something more productive, and I need every boost I can get, because that's the only way I can economically advance and prosper, right? There's no other way for me to do it. Because conquest isn't an option. And yes, integrating is fine, but even when you integrate stuff, it's still not that big of a deal as domestic economic growth. So, yeah, there you go. Lengthy explanation, took like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, maybe even more, I don't know. But it's vital, basically. Population growth is good in Stellaris, it's vital here, because everything's slowed down. And the faster your population can grow... well, let's put it like this. 50% population growth speed is about as good as conquering a new planet. Well, actually, it's even better. The math doesn't really work, but the higher the population growth speed you get, and the more bonuses you can acquire, is basically the same as waging war and conquering new planets, except maybe even better. Right? The effect is the same, or the effect on the economy is the same. So yeah, like, I'd much rather have growth speed than war and conquest. Purely economically speaking, you know, disregarding the fact that I'm role-playing. Because yeah, you conquer a new planet, there's unrest, there's a period of adjustment, there's, you know, etc, etc, but you do get those pops to work for you eventually. With population growth speed, you get the same number of pops, the same economic benefits, except there's nothing, right, there's no downsides, it's immediate, so, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go, oddly enough, for streamline production here, because 450 hull points is nothing, 50% build speed is incredible, it's just an incredible difference. But I also have just noticed that some ships have just been retired once again. And I'm not really the biggest fan of that. What has been retired? Hoover class. The Cardenas class Explorer has been marked for retirement. The Nimitz class has been marked for retirement, and the Maggie has been marked for retirement. And we've re-elected Yelena Kuznetsov. Okay, it's the end of the episode anyway, so allow me at least a minute or two of ranting. I really don't like this. I think ships are retired way too often. Because take a look at this now. I was just building a few Nimitz-class ships, and they've already exchanged them for the Miranda. And the troop transport is now Ptolemy. I mean, I don't play around with these, so I guess it's fine, but this doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Miranda is it even better? It's not really even better, is it? And then there's the Ares. Heavy Cruiser 3. I guess this is Heavy Cruiser 4, and it's... How much does this cost? No, upkeep-wise, they're pretty much the same. Ares is just shite. Oh yeah, Ares is just shite. The Constitution is better in pretty much every way, shape, and form. Okay, good to know. But I will recommission, just really quickly before I end the video, I will recommission the Nimitz class. Okay, so show member world. Huh. Well, it's mildly amusing. Okay, advanced cruisers. No, heavy cruisers. Recommission the Nimitz class. And then, honestly, I want to retire the Ares class altogether, because I don't need it. Yeah, I'm going to retire the Ares class. There you go. And it does put it at 0, so... yeah. I'm going to retire the Ares class. Like I said, it's just not worth it. The Yorktown I got over, because, yeah, Yorktown, you know, I'll lose them and I'll rebuild them later. Multi-mission ships, Poseidons, and then we have Walkers, that's fine. Long-range explorers. Recommission this as well, and recommission the Hoover. So Explorer 3 so the Miranda exchanged both of these. Okay, tell you what, let's make a deep let's make a fair comparison. Upgrade the Miranda to have inertial dampeners and get rid of that. Kind of useless, okay. Afterburner, no. Okay, we'll go with this. And then the shields, I think, are kind of not that useful because you can go with... No, they are actually. Yeah, never mind. Terrellium plating. I don't want you to have terrellium plating. Instead, go with like hardened shields like this. It's 520 versus 600 plus regen. I also think if I put this, it's just going to increase everything more. Yeah, I think the engineering station, like the 2% is more than yeah. I like the engineering station. Okay. Sense pod. Sure. National nullifier. Fine. There you go. Okay, that's the Miranda class. Fleet manager. Give me a fleet that can take more reinforcements. Enterprise, whatever. Even though we're not going to do it, but you know, just to check things out. Miranda versus the two types of ship she replaced. So it is better. The Miranda is better, no doubt about it. It's 1.2 thousand versus 940 and 810 respectively. Do they cost the same? 14, 12. So the Hoover is 12. So the Miranda replaced the Hoover, even though it occupies a kind of unique spot of 12. And what about Walker versus Miranda? Yeah, the Miranda is better than the Walker class as well, so I realistically could retire the Walker class and just go with Miranda's, but... man, oh man, like... Actually... You know what, that's not even the full story, because tell you what, these haven't been... completely upgraded, and I'm not being fair to the... Now I'm not being fair to these ships. Because as you can see, it's currently being built, I can't upgrade them. Honestly, if I upgrade the 2 retired ship classes with the best equipment and everything, I think they're going to catch up to the Miranda, which makes the Miranda completely useless, and I should never have commissioned it to begin with, because I'm not gaining much out of it. Certainly not enough to just decommission old ships. Or I say old ships, they've only been in service for like 7-8 years. I don't like how often this happens. Like, if I get to retire and commission ships every 50, maybe even 100 years, I think that'd be fine. But every 10 years, like, come on, you know? At least there is a way around it a little bit, but I don't like that. I mean, I understand it's lore-friendly, but you also have to understand that this is Stellaris. You're sort of limited by the gameplay mechanics here. And bottom line is, okay, maybe it's realistic that the Federation would commission a Miranda-class ship around this time. Fair enough. And that maybe 20 years later, a new ship type would get invented. Fair. But it also wouldn't be realistic that 10 years or 5 years after its construction, a class of ship would be completely obsolete in the Federation. It wouldn't. Not what they would do is just what you did. They would keep them commissioned. Yes, but it's a hassle, right? The UI and the mechanics of it and everything is a bit of a hassle. For the Federation, it's a question of, well, we just don't scuttle the ship. For me, it's a question of navigating 50 different UI pages, a diplomatic contact with myself, you know, with my own museum or whatever that thing is. And then, you know, and then there's 4 slots, and I need to retire other ships to keep, you know, to stay within the 4 slots, and yada, yada, yada. And for the Federation is, like, yeah, just keep it flying. You know, for them it's nothing. And yeah, okay, maybe I'm being unfair a little bit, because, you know, the Federation does need to still keep the thing repaired, they need to have replacement parts for it, they need, you know, it's a logistical challenge as well, I suppose, but... I don't know. I feel like there was a better way of doing this, where you just don't... I mean, I guess... I don't know, maybe this is a bit... rough for me to say, but maybe you just don't change the ship models as often and just sort of skip over some of them. Like, sacrifice accuracy for convenience, basically. This is a suicidal attack. Oh yeah, this station is tough. This is tough as nails. 2.9 thousand. Giridian Republic. Sorry, it's not going to work out for you, I'm afraid. Okay, this is also pretty tough, I think. Galactic Forum. Alright. Well, you're still being repaired, but you're pretty much good to go. Let's go and, oh! I can't go that way. This way? And it's 3 jumps that way. Okay, tell you what, let's take the station by force. I won't be as aggressive in this war. Though I will, next episode, I promise you, I will try and move a little bit faster. But, like I said, I won't be as aggressive in this war. I'll try and cut off the Romulans here, take control of this, and just sit pretty, basically. Okay, let's use the time crystal. Attempt a rare experiment, why not? Yeah, that'll do. Okay, it's been, like, it's an hour-long episode already, but I guess that's only fair considering the gravitas of everything that's happening. Thank you very, very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video. Want to stay tuned with the rest of the content that I produce on this channel. Till next time, have fun, take care, and bye-bye.